Culture is the unwritten rules. They're unwritten. Culture is tacit, which means if you belong in that culture, you know the rules. You know the rules. You know the game. You know how to play it, but it's unwritten. So, countries have cultures. And people who live in those countries know how to operate in those cultures. Organizations have cultures. Okay? All organizations have cultures. The way we do things around here. Individuals have cultures, right? Families have cultures. It's what we call personal culture. So you've got national culture, organizational culture, and personal culture. Now, if culture is the unwritten rules, and they are the lenses through which we look out at the world, because your culture is based on your upbringing, your background, your heritage, your education, where your parents were from, where you grew up, your schooling, all those things influence your culture. If that is culture, then what is cultural intelligence? What percentage of an iceberg is above the waterline? Have a guess. What percentage do you think? 10%. Good guess, right? So you've got 10% that's above the waterline. You've got 90% that's below the waterline. The 10% are the things that we see, things that you can see, right? You know, the buildings, the way people dress, the way people interact, cars, houses, etc. The stuff that's below the waterline are the things like the values, the norms, the belief systems, etc. Really, it's what's culture? Culture is tacit. It's the unwritten rules. And if you're part of that culture, you know the rules. It's the lens through which we look out at the world, right? And we all have different cultures. And within every culture, there'll be subcultures. So being kind of aware of what is your own culture, because you bring your culture with you everywhere. And when you're in Australia, you know, you don't pay a lot of attention to Australian culture because you know the rules. But I tell you what, you go to London, you go to Bangkok, you go to LA, you go to Sao Paulo, you're walking along the street, you see another person with a backpack with an Australian flag on it. Guess what you do? You go, hello! Okay? Because that sense of belonging, sense of togetherness, it's tacit.